Hi, welcome to Math with Mr. B. Today I'm going to demonstrate a few different ways to solve division problems. We will be working with 278 divided by 4. Our dividend is 278 and our divisor is 4. The answer we are looking for is called the quotient. I will begin by estimating the answer to this question. I will take 278 and I will round it up to 280 because that is a friendly number. Now we need to solve 280 divided by 4. To make this easier to divide mentally, I will pretend I am working with 28 divided by 4 and then remember to adjust the place value later. I know from my basic multiplication facts that 4 times 7 equals 28. Since division is the inverse operation, I can also say that 28 divided by 4 equals 7. To apply this logic back to 280 divided by 4, we need to remember that, due to place value, the 7 does not represent the number 7, but rather the number 70, so we need to add a 0. My estimate is 70, but I predict that 278 divided by 4 will actually be slightly lower than 70, because I rounded the dividend up to make it a friendly number. Next, we will begin visualizing this problem through concrete manipulatives. Here I have base 10 blocks. As you can see, the purple flat represents 100, the orange longs represent 10, and the pink units represent 1. Our dividend, 278, is represented by 2 flats, 7 longs, and 8 units. Our divisor 4 is represented by these 4 white boxes. So let's start dividing. We will start with the hundreds, but since we do not have enough flats to evenly divide among our 4 groups, we will need to exchange them for the same value in longs. We will exchange our 2 flats for 20 longs. We now have a total of 27 longs and can begin dividing them among our 4 groups. Each group received 6 longs, leaving 3 longs left over. Since we do not have enough longs left over to divide them among our 4 groups, we must now trade our remaining 3 longs in for 30 units. We now have a total of 38 units and will divide them among our 4 groups. Each group received 9 units and there are 2 units remaining. We can now count the value in each square to find our answer. Each square has 6 longs and 9 units, totaling 69. Our answer then is 278 divided by 4 equals 69, remainder 2. We will now look at solving this problem through pictorial representation and symbolic representation to help link these strategies. Here you can see a symbolic representation of 278 divided by 4. Now I will represent 278 pictorially through virtual manipulatives. There are 2 flats equaling 200, 7 longs equaling 70, and 8 units equaling 8 for a total of 278. Our divisor will be represented by 4 boxes. We can now begin dividing the manipulatives evenly between the 4 boxes. We will start with the hundreds, but since we were unable to evenly divide our 2 flats between 4 squares, we must first trade them in for an equal value of units. We are exchanging 2 flats for 20 longs. We now have a total of 27 longs and can begin dividing them evenly among the 4 boxes. Each box receives 6 longs. Each long is worth 10, and we have now used a total of 24 longs. So we know that we have already divided 240 of our original 278. So in our symbolic representation, we will subtract 240 from 278, leaving us with 38 yet to be divided. We can see this represented by the 3 longs and 8 units on the left. We know that we do not have enough longs, or in the symbolic problem, enough whole tens left to divide by 4, so we can write a 6 in the tens column representing the 60, or 6 longs that each group has received. To continue dividing, we must exchange our 3 remaining longs for 30 units. We now have 38 units remaining and can begin dividing these evenly among our boxes. Each box received 9 units with 2 remaining. Since each of the 4 boxes received 9 units, we know that we used 36 units total. Going back to our symbolic representation, we now have to subtract 36 from our remaining 38. This leaves us with a remainder of 2, which is also represented by our 2 leftover units. We will also write a 9 into the ones place value of our symbolic representation because we know that each box received 9 units. We now know that our answer is 69, remainder 2. For my personal strategy, I divided using a partitioning strategy. I began by taking 240 from the 278 and dividing it by 4. Using a similar strategy I used in my estimation, I know that 4 times 6 is 24. Since I know that 240 is 10 times more than 24, I know that 240 divided by 4 is 60. Next, I partitioned out the remaining 38 and divided it by 4. Using my basic multiplication facts, I know that 4 times 9 equals 36. So I know that 36 divided by 4 equals 9, and we will be left with a remainder of 2. Next, I will add the two quotients together to get a total of 69, remainder 2. Finally, I will compare my original estimation of 70 to our actual quotient of 69, remainder 2. Since I am less than a whole number off, I know this was actually a great estimation. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today.